All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for After the Rain, Episode 1. This is the first of the new slot type that we're doing.
Exactly, yes.
Exactly. So you picked this show, Jacob.
I did indeed, yes. Yep.
And you know a bit about this show more than I do, but I know that it's the older guy, younger girl romance kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I've seen some of the GIFs from this show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I know what the main girl looks like, and
Gotcha.
that's about it.
And what inspired you to choose this show specifically?
I've been itching for a good romance show,
Okay.
This one seems like one of those ones that would go under the radar because of the premise, but actually potentially be a lot better. Because the people that did see it were like, "Oh yeah, this is good."
Awesome.
Yeah. So
this is definitely one of those shows that, one, it's a romance genre show, so it's not going to win any of our polls.
But also because of the premise, super obscure, like on a poll where Rakugo almost won, this was in last by, like, definitively.
Gotcha.
Last. So
cool. So there's 13 episodes to this show?
12, I think 12.
It's one cour.
Yeah, it's one cour, yeah.
Okay, so then once that one's done, then I'll pick a show.
Exactly.
And then we'll go back to you and back and forth. So guys, this is what Thursday is going to be like for this slot.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday, sorry.
Well, yeah, this will be fun.
All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, it's got the ping pong title card.
So
that ends right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is.
Oh.
I love the colors.
Yes. Wow. Just so bright.
Uh-huh.
Fell asleep. Wow, neck.
Yeah.
もう放課後だけど。
いや、よく寝てたからさ。これを機会に俺と ID なんか交換したらどうだろうか。
Wrecked.
Ooh.
Absolutely destroyed. Dang.
She is very soft-spoken. And she has a neck that would make Keira Knightley jealous.
And the character designs all seem to be very Code Geass-y, you know? Very tall, thin, lanky.
And her voice actress sounded familiar.
Oh, okay.
Was she tired, or did she not want to get noticed?
Did she not
by
want to
the
be
other
seen
people,
or something? I'm not sure. Wow. You're just letting us drink in the beauty, right?
Yep.
That looks like a real sky, like, except for the pink in the...
Yeah.
You know. Alright, what happens after the rain?
Oh, opening.
This voice is so soft.
And high-pitched.
I know.
Oh, wow.
The curves on that curtain. Huh. Oh, I feel like we're wait, like I feel like we're getting told something about the way this girl imagines love.
Sure.
That it's magical, and then it's something like that just.
Aww.
Like.
One of the things that this makes me very happy about is that it's clear who the two main characters are.
Yeah.
One of the things that I get salty is when in romance stories they try and be like, oh no, are these people going to end up together, or are these people?
Right. Oh my god, wow, they're really trying to make this girl look like antagonistic towards the keep smiling. Dang. That is a parfait. That is a perfect parfait.
Wow.
Dang. I remember serving tables and stuff like this. This is very nostalgic. Oh. Wait, is he
Does he also work there?
Is he like a manager or something?
Possibly.
He was dressed in like a suit, you know.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
the manager, yep.
So
Dang.
not only older, but also her boss.
Yeah.
これじゃ焦げ焦げだもんね。
Oh, that is...
It's
Yeah.
very burnt.
開いてますよ。
What is this awkward goober guy? Yeah.
一生店長で終わるタイプよ。
Oh.
Ouch.
Dang. Oh, but she's just everything's all starry-eyed for her.
Yeah.
たくさん食べないと縮んじゃうよ。わけないよね。
And she's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
事務所に一人で店長の子供よ。
Oh.
失礼しました。大丈夫？
大丈夫です。終わった次はこれ。
以上ご注文。失礼しました。こら言うと、声に響くでしょ。
Cause that's the thing. The kid is here,
Right.
not at home.
Uh-huh.
So either they're having issues in the marriage,
Yeah. Or they've split
or they've
up.
already split up. Yeah,
Uh-huh,
yeah.
yeah.
This is.
2名様ですか？
Ooh.
こちらへどうぞ。
あれ？
Oh, she took him outside?
They might be outside. Yeah. Either way, I think they're outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Across the street.
似てるかも。よかったね。
Oh. They're so cute.
お父さん、ねえねえ、僕老けたよ。
そうか、よかったな。
Oh, this is really sweet. They're both really awkward and
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
it's nothing about each other yet.
事務
But
所に締まりがないわね。
I get the feeling I'm gonna love the blonde girl.
Oh, yeah.
45歳万年
Oh, she did leave?
バツイチ。
Oh.
ご注文。
Dang that! No! No!
すみません。
おいおい。
Oh my gosh.
アキラ、お昼それだけ？部活やめたから前みたいに食べてると体重くて。
Oh, she used to be on the track team?
Gotcha, so she kind of avoids them.
サッカー部の学校一イケメンじゃん。山本キャプテン。っていうかあんたグラウンドで見てたはずじゃん。
There's the guy!
Yeah. Walking by very quickly.
Yep.
かっこいいでしょ。別に。じゃあさ、アキラの好きなタイプってどんな人？
Well,
そうだ。
He's back!
たまにズボンのジャックが出てたり、大きな声でくしゃみしたりする。
achoo.
Oh, poor guy.
おっさんとか枯れ系？
Oh, is that why she quit the track team?
Wait.
Maybe they made fun of her about that or something?
Possibly. It doesn't seem like she's the type of person to.
立花アキラ選手残念。
Here's the captain of the.
キャンはるか選手の登場です。アキラがいたらもっと楽に。ごめん。
Wow, she barely even whispered that.
今日は早めに切り上げた方がいいよ。足の傷ちょっと痛むから。
Ah, gotcha.
Okay,
全然
gotcha.
大丈夫だよ。
There's all these little signs that they keep showing specifically at certain times. The loud sneeze.
おつらい。アクション。ごめんごめん。
Yada yada. She's like, he has a nice backside there.
ゆいちゃんのゆいちゃんの
So this is Yui. Okay.
どんな人？
That guy
こ
right
の
there.
店の中で言うとキッチンの方
Oh,
Those workplace romances.
社員の大塚さんは岩みたいで
oh, gotcha. So they're close, but they're not there yet.
とかもう絶対無理だし
I like Yui. I like her. She's got good analysis on everyone.
Oh,
店長？
おっといけねえ。
Oh, damn it.
話になったから思わず隠れちまったが。意見を持つのだ。店長として。
Yes, yes.
やだ店長なんてだってなんか臭いだもん。
6択の料理も出さないとね。いやーみんな元気があって結構雨天結構コケコッコー。
店長面白い。
He's like, I smell you. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Get deodorant.
大衆立ち劇親父ギャグ
Yes, this is true. He looks good for 45.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah, is he actually 45? Like,
Yeah, that's what they said.
Right, but like
He looks
very
35.
good for 45.
He looks
Yeah.
35, yeah.
yeah.
If anything, I think that he has a little bit of face, wrinkles and stuff like that, but not much. Like, oh, ooh. This is a very atmospheric show, but yet, like, they save the animation for like very specific moments, and then they'll have these backgrounds that are just so good.
Oh, was that how she ended up working here?
Wait.
私これ頼んでませんけど。
サービスですただ雨が止むのを待っているだけじゃつまらないでしょ
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
あもしかしてブラックにちょっと待ってね
What is he doing?
You
so
little
corny.
freaking corny charmer, you.
Yeah.
He's like, yes. I went from bad puns to bad magic tricks. Yes. Oh, she's very much. Dang.
Wow.
They're really trying to capture that feeling of wonder when the whole world looks beautiful when you're in love, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a little bit of just infatuation at this point right now, but
Sure,
But-
but you know,
yeah, it's all combined. It's all
Right.
wrapped up within itself.
they don't
yeah.
really know each other yet.
Yeah. Like she just now figured out that he was, had a kid and was divorced.
Right,
you know?
right, exactly.
In fact, that probably happened recently, and that's why the kid
Yep.
just now showed up. You
Yep.
know?
Oh.
Oh, that's where the injury was. Her Achilles. Oh no! Oh no!
あれそれ
You saw nothing. That's.
He's so soft-spoken and insecure, though, he might not actually, like, think much of it and just be
Right.
like, oh, whatever.
はいはいお疲れ様。
Ah, Pancho time.
来月のシフト希望です。
Oh, this is the horrible part about being a manager. See that schedule right there?
Yeah, yeah.
Finding to.
これまたよく働くね何か欲しいものでもあるのかなこっちとしては助かるからとってもありがたいけど
She's like stalking up behind him like a.
店長。
そんなに睨まないでくれよ
She's like, oh, was I glaring?
別に睨んでませんけど。
Yeah.
But what was she doing?
めちゃめちゃ睨んでるけどねやっぱり
She's
睨
definitely-
んでるよな
ID は
Could you give me your? She's asking
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your number.
ってなんだっけ
何でもないです。
Oh my god.
お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ
Oh. Dang.
He's remembering what it used to be like.
Yeah, well, he was thinking about what if he was that age. Oh. Wow.
Yes, I love this. I love this. And this sounds Is this Eimer? This might be what she was listening to earlier, and this might be Eimer, because this sounds a lot like Brave Shine.
Yep. It really does. Yeah, I think you're right.
Like both in the
I'm gonna
voice
be
and
checking
the style.
I'm gonna be checking the credits to see if it pops up. Oh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Refrain by Eimer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Cool.
There you go.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Oh, I love this track. Again with the colors.
Wow. Awesome.
All right.
Okay. This was really sweet. Like,
Yeah.
it was so corny and goofy.
Oh, yeah.
But like what first kind of awkward crush with a coworker or whatever isn't. Something that I really liked about this was they didn't just keep it in a first person perspective.
Yes.
This was a third person omniscient storyline, which allows for, I'd say, way more contextual humor. Like, because the information that we have is not privy to what she has or to what he has.
It helps us get to know both the characters simultaneously,
Exactly.
which is very helpful since their interactions tend to go a certain way so far.
Right. And specifically with the first person perspective, it's generally more of a, do they like me? And this is more of a, does he know that she's like into him? Like, really into him. And this is something that's, I think is really cool, is they're exploring something that I think happens way more often than we think, is that someone will, find a person that's outside of their usual kind of range of relationship opportunities and find them very attractive, very endearing,
for 'em,
and just fall in love, just crush on them.
And the lyrics to the opening definitely showcase that.
Oh, they do.
That.
Totally.
Yeah.
And she's 17, I believe.
so,
You said, like, senior?
Yeah.
So, okay. 15, 16, 17. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she's 17, he's 45.
45.
He does not look 45 at all.
Let's be real, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that his kid looks like, 8, 10, 12, maybe? But, like...
Yeah. No, you know why that makes sense, though?
What?
Is because he is an awkward doofus at 45.
Okay, yes.
He got married really late. Not necessarily got married really late. He had a kid really, later in his life.
Which would imply that he got married really late. Yeah.
Right, so he was not very comfortable, I would say, with women or just kind of expressing himself in such a way. And unfortunately, that's probably going to tie into being one of the reasons why he ended up getting divorced. Not necessarily whether or not he was the one that actively decided to get divorced, but
it seems very clear that he wasn't.
Yeah, you can see that there is a slight bit of immaturity in his character, that is endearing because it shows that he's not walking around with a stick up his butt, for one. But
that's very true.
But two, he's also kind of childlike,
which means that they might have they'll probably be a better match,
Yes,
because I'm already starting to be like, okay, I kind of
it's
kind of these characters to end up together.
But let's also think about this. Like, she is full on she's
gone,
drunk the
man.
Kool-Aid is solid gone.
Yeah,
when you start grabbing someone's shirt and you smell, you breathe in their essence,
and not just quickly smelling it to be like, wait, what do they smell like? But
rubbing your face in it. And
stuff.
Okay, there's something I don't know about it, but I find it to be extremely attractive if someone liked me so much that they wanted to now here's the thing, this is some other story here, so I don't find the act of it outside of me interesting or attractive,
but no, it's the idea that that still might maybe weird you out a little bit if you saw someone just smelling your clothes, but considering but there are a few things that are really cool about how they do this. One, it's something that other people said was a detriment about him, something bad about him, right?
Yeah.
He smelled bad, and maybe that was why his wife left him. So there's some potential insecurities there, right?
Yeah.
So there's the idea that the very thing that you're insecure about someone else, that is, well, yeah, they like it. They like that aspect of you, right? And that's how you know when you're really in love, even though. Do either of these people know much about love? Who can say?
Who knows?
Who knows? But that's when you know that you're really in love with anything, right? Is when the flaws are just adding character,
right?
know?
And what I'm hoping that this story is about not experiencing or expressing, about exploring the difference between infatuation and love.
Right.
Because here's the thing. when you get passionate, one of the areas that you can move towards is obsession.
Sure.
And obsession is the first bit of clouding of reality. But when you become like infatuated with someone, you want to consume them as much as you want to like spend time with them. It's
the idea that when there's an imbalance in the relationship aspect and how you see them, and you stop seeing them as a person,
right?
Usually because you haven't actually connected with them as a person. Then there's not. It's kind of hard to have a relationship then, isn't it?
Right. But it's a great signal to show them that I'm interested.
Right. Which is something like when I was told the premise, one of the things I was wondering is I was like, okay, but since it's something that's kind of taboo, how do you break the ice over the idea that is even on the table, especially in a show that's one cour?
Right.
Like how do you do that?
She has to be very aggressive.
And
that's the thing that I think will be endearing and also the conflict point of the series, of the show.
Yeah.
If she's taking the first move, if she's taking initiative, and she's not being aggressive in like the aggressive, but just taking initiative,
right,
what'll happen is that he'll get put on the defensive pretty quickly because he'll be like, wait a minute, I'm not sure about this. And what is, there's some real potential for hurt here, is that he might reject her not because he's against the idea, but he fears the way other people would look at him.
He could get in a lot of trouble.
Well, hold on. What's the age of consent in Japan? 16?
I don't know.
It's lower than 18. So
gotcha.
I would say that he's not in that kind of trouble.
Well, but he still could be, especially doubly so because he is her boss.
That's the part where it gets actually the diciest, I would say. And that's an age. That's an age. That doesn't matter what age you are.
But the age certainly doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
No. Yeah.
So they have a bit of an impossible situation. But
Which means it'll be interesting to see how they work around it.
Right. But what I love is that she doesn't seem to be aware or care. So if she is aware, she doesn't care. But I don't think she's actually that aware of it. It's just like, no, this is just something that blindsided me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
And I can't help but feel what I feel. Mm-hmm. And this is something that also they could get into that's really good. The whole idea of when you love someone, there's the initial stage, which I would call basically the crush, where you basically, you just kind of stumble into it. Now you're like, I am flooded with hormones and feelings and all this good stuff, and it's just like, this is amazing. But then you start to engage it. You start to, I would say, stoke the fires of love, basically.
Okay.
And that part is where I think you realize whether or not it's a love or if it's just an infatuation.
Gotcha. Is it going to just, fizzle out, or is it something that could be long-lasting?
Right, and I think that she's close to, in fact, she's probably trying to test it right now by engaging him directly. I mean, she smelled his shirt and then went from not even denying it, she just went and sat down and picked up her sandwich and blushed a little and just...
Yeah.
And he was just like...
Yeah, like she kind of did a sort of deflection where she just sort of like, shook it out and then put it back. So it's almost like in this, but it's so like not even a deflection. But the most that it could have been, because she didn't say anything and because he's so not assertive, right?
Right.
That it could have been like him thinking, oh, she is really anal about things being tidy, and she smoothed it out and then put it back. But yeah.
Or maybe she thought that it stunk a little bit and was kind of
like smelling it like, that's what it is that's in here.
Exactly.
Let's get it away from, But because, like, to be fair, from this guy's perspective, there would be a lot of things that he would consider before, not necessarily in this situation, but in general in a situation where there's a girl that's a third of your age almost.
Okay.
And, there would be a lot of places that you would go to before you assume, oh, she totally has the hots for me.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I have never been a 45-year-old man, so I don't know this for a fact. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that is weird, though, is when you're in a situation and it's inverted. So here's an example. So I am 27. Mm-hmm. I've been in situations where someone who looks 50 looks at me and I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily like gross me out immediately or make me go, oh, I like that. It's just like, oh, I acknowledge that that is a thing.
Now I'm going to go over here.
Yes, and I'm going to just kind of generally avoid that and stuff like that.
Right.
But the thing is that that's something that I think I just could be more or less kind of aware could happen. But I always wonder what it's like from the other perspective, where it's like, okay, if I was 45 and say I put myself in the other person's shoes. Say I was 50 and someone else was me at 27. And for some reason I was crushing on an older woman or something like that.
Right.
And
I mean, like, I totally get I totally get the crushing on someone way older than you, right? Like there was a science teacher that I had, and she was definitely older. But I was just like, oh my God, she is amazing, right? But if the roles were reversed and I was the teacher, even if I did pick up on something like that,
it would feel a little bit just
well, the thing is, I would have trouble taking it seriously, for one.
Oh, taking it seriously.
Because there's always times where, like, you know, the high school girl that has a crush on her teacher, right?
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah.
Or the high school boy.
Or the high school boy, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you don't take it seriously. It's just, oh yeah, right. They're flooded with hormones, you know. Of course. So, and of course, he didn't even realize that she actually was trying to get his number, like
messaging app. What?
Yeah, messaging ID. What? Yeah, like that. Oh man.
What's gonna happen is that he'll be at work one day. She'll be out serving, and he'll drop a plate all of a sudden because he'll realize what was happening, and she'll be like coming in and be like, "Are you okay?" And he'll be like, and then we'll get the whole thing reversed and stuff like that.
Right.
That would be hilarious. Okay, but here's what's really telling. He imagined himself in the positions of the guy out there.
Yes.
And that was a flicker, a thought. He immediately, did away with it. But here's something I think that's good to bring up, is that when people think about attraction and we think about, like, you know, the idea of, I would say, being okay. Here's what I'm saying, is that people love people. That's just gonna happen. People love people and stuff like that. Yes, and I think that if we put it into really binary kind of circumstances where him looking at this kind of situation and putting himself in that situation means that he's attracted to her or not, like it doesn't mean necessarily one thing or the other.
Well, yeah, and the way they did it, I really like that that they didn't have him like internally talking to himself about it. It was just like, you know, a flicker, and it was just like, okay, you know, that happened. But
I think he did talk to himself.
Well, right, but it wasn't like he didn't dwell on it. He quickly dismissed the thought. And the thing is that because of where he's at, he is very lonely. So we don't necessarily know whether it was him thinking, a relationship with her specifically for me right now.
No.
Or just the idea of wishing, I wish I had somebody.
No, but he was attracted to her in that instance.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the point that I think is really good to make, is that just because he didn't dwell on it doesn't mean he's not attracted to her.
Right, and I would say...
And just because he was attracted to her in that instance doesn't mean that he's now going to be attracted to her for the rest of,
and again,
the day or week or month.
There's
or
a big difference between just sexual attraction and emotional attraction, like...
I basically just call it attraction. Everything else is the umbrella of that,
Okay, but basically, okay.
It's all hormones at that point, it's all chemicals.
Yes, but anyone... Okay, I would say any dude his age would probably find her attractive. There's a decent likelihood of that happening, right? He's a dude after all. The question is how he responds to that attraction, because most of the time, like, I would think at his age he would just dismiss it because he sees pretty girls all the time, right?
I'm trying to keep things from specifically kind of binary perspectives where just because he's a guy he would find her attractive in this instance. because of
Yeah,
whatever
they
reason.
they drew attention to it, so there's something more than just that. But yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
what are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is I think that's the show is going to be tackling and breaking down a lot of the barriers around traditional romantic stories.
Sure.
And that's obvious, but I think the way they're going to be doing it is not in that one of them is going to be breaking it down. Both of them are going to be breaking it down from different perspectives and different angles.
Yeah.
And I think one of the ways that the guy is going to be doing it specifically is that he is going to find her attractive. In fact, we know that he does.
Yes.
But it's not going to be just a thing of him finding her attractive and then being like, oh, but this can never be. It's going to be a thing of him exploring, actually, wait, what does this mean? What does this mean to be attractive?
Yeah.
Is this wrong? Is there anything about this that is actually fundamentally, like, you know, unnatural or something? And what I think is really cool about that is right now we're in a time where a lot of people are claiming that certain types of love are unnatural or certain types of things are just the wrong way for things to go. And this way is doing it in a way that I think that is very tasteful. I think they're doing it in such a way to where they could have a lot of very binary responses to certain things. And they're choosing to nuance it by having him, think for a second, I can see myself, like, that would be nice to be young again and to date someone like that.
Yep. And the fact that they have both the characters, the personalities that they have, I think is really crucial for this whole story.
Yes,
because
definitely.
on the one hand, he is very insecure, right? And he questions himself a lot, which is good because that means he will question, when the idea is, made like clear that it's a possibility, right?
Right.
Because he still is probably doubting it a bit. He didn't even pick up on the fact that she was trying to get his number. It wasn't even technically his number, I suppose. It was just, Facebook messaging or something like
WhatsApp
that.
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Something he doesn't even really know exists.
Probably not, no.
He will have to wrestle with it in his own way, right? And with her, she is both very confident in the fact that she likes him a lot and not confident at all, which makes sense because, she's young and everything, right? But she'll be very hesitant about it with other people, right? Even just mentioning him to her coworker, right?
Oh, I don't think she would ever mention, she mentioned to Yui, like,
what
type.
do you think? Yeah, type, and then
What do you think
eventually,
about
what do you
Kondo,
think
Mr.
about?
Kondo?
Yeah, exactly. But then, for her herself, she is very much aware of just how head over heels she is for this guy, and that doesn't bug her. So,
well, she has her own insecurities because she won't tell anyone.
yes,
of
course,
it does bug her.
Yeah, right. But she's still willing to ask the guy for his number after he just caught her,
She did
rubbing
wait for
her
everyone.
face in his shirt.
She did wait for everyone else to go.
She did, yes,
And
naturally.
And this is where I think you were, head on, you're hitting
Nail
the
on
nail
the
on the
head.
head with this here, is that if we were the guy and we weren't 45, we were, younger, we were, what is it? What's the rule? Half
your age
plus
plus 7.
Yeah. So we would be like, I don't know.
Well, if she's 17, then it's so. Wait.
Half
20?
our age plus 7.
Right. So that would be 20 if we were 20. Is what you're saying? Yeah. But anyways,
that's the oldest we could be.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
But anyways,
So then we would clue in. We would clue in.
Yes, absolutely.
And make some kind of at least a response or a move
right.
based on that.
Yes.
Because I've never, ever been in a situation where my stuff was lying out somewhere and I catch a girl smelling it
Like,
and like breathing in and stuff. That's like,
If you ever
It's
have
either
someone that
creepy
likes
or
you that
wow.
much, then you better have a really good reason to not consider it because, yeah.
they really like you. They really like you. Yeah. And generally, it's at least the best thing to do is that even if you don't know right there, go hang out with them or spend a date or whatever, just once and see what happens, and then maybe something's there. I mean, I don't think it's the right idea to just respond positively just because they're attracted, and then
Right, but the idea is that having someone like you that much does not happen often, right? Or at least you certainly don't become aware of it often.
Not usually.
The fact that she likes him that much and is willing to make a move, right? That's huge. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. And I love side characters having their little commentary being relevant to the plot in the beginning here, but they are important for introducing the background characters as a foundation for where these two characters fit and their lives kind of bounce against each other.
Right.
I'm really thinking, though, that the kid is going to be a huge portion of that because he connected well with her. What's her name again?
Akira something. Her last name is longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that they have the dude have a kid.
Yeah,
that's an extra dynamic basically, and it's a very realistic dynamic of if this dude is 45. You know, the fact
single parents are just they're everywhere. Like it's a very common thing, and I think that it's cool to explore a story with that. Whereas in other stories, it actually just complicates the writing.
Right.
But for us, we're like, ooh, that's exciting. It's not going to be so straightforward.
I am a big fan of the single dad, or just single parents in general. But in storytelling, the single dad especially, and I haven't seen many stories that will do the single dad with the son. A lot of times it's with the daughter, you know, because the wife died or something like that, you know.
Good point.
Or it's like the surrogate father figure kind of, you know, like The Last of Us or things like that.
That is a very huge trope.
Yeah.
Single dad or surrogate father figure with daughter, never with son.
Right. If it's with the son, usually it's with an actual biological son, and the fact that they do that here, but they still have him be a single father, you know, the mother isn't around, right?
Usually if the mother is going to be there and she's not going to be there at some point, she's introduced in the story to be the perfect mother so that she can die at some point.
Right. Or what they'll do is they'll have it center more around the father and the son is more in that coming of age sort of like time.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Exactly, right.
Titan,
that way
the ponytail of death, you know.
Well, sure, but also just for the dynamic of the father and the son.
Yes.
That way the dynamic is a lot more there's a more like literal story reason for why the dynamic is there.
Right.
But in this case, it's just no, he has a kid, because of course he has a kid, right? But it's not necessarily going to be the super focus of the story, but it's definitely going to play its part. So.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's a good point. Is this his custody day?
Oh, yeah.
Crap.
Totally could be.
And wait, there were multiple days involved with this first episode. And there was a day when the kid wasn't there.
I don't think so, yeah.
So that was probably what that was. That was probably his custody day.
Oh, man, that's rough. And he has to spend it at work.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least the kid's smiling in some way because...
But the kid did not seem happy. Like,
no.
He was about to just keep playing the recorder anyways.
Yeah, I think he's more so young that it's not, like, hit him yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, his parents did split up, so, you know, that's...
Yeah.
All
right, guys. Wow, it's a great first episode to a show. Set the foundation very well and very efficiently. And
now,
now
what happens next?
Now we have a very interesting thing about what's happening next. So guys, if you want to see the next episode's reaction to discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access there. There you can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access where you can chat with us about stories or just stuff in general. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.